Hello, everyone. It's Tanisha Sellers. I'm here with my narrative story. Okay, so my story involves someone named Kim, John, and Kim's sister Jennifer. Okay, so Kim was referred to John by her sister to handle her divorce case. Kim's sister Jennifer assured Kim that John is the best lawyer when it comes to divorce cases. When Kim comes to John's office, she talks to his assistant. John's assistant ends up giving Kim legal advice about her case. Okay, when Kim meets John finally to consult him about her case, she tells him everything. She even asks John if she killed her husband before they divorced, could he get her off? Would she be able to get off? John tells her yes. Kim also tells John her sister, who is one of his former clients, recommended him and told her all about their case and how he beat it. Kim even goes into detail with John about the case. John engages back into the conversation and tells Kim things about the case that she didn't even know. He then tells Kim he will represent her in her divorce case. A few days later, John ran into Jennifer, Kim's sister, somewhere and they started a conversation. He starts discussing her sister's case with her. They finish their conversation and go their separate ways. Now, with that scenario, the rules that John broke are as followed. The first rule he broke was Rule 1.9, which is duties to former clients. And I said that he broke 1.9a, which reads, a lawyer who has formally represented a client in a matter should not therefore represent another person in the same substantial related matter in which that person's interests are materially adverse to interests of the former client, unless the former client gives informed consent. Okay, and this is just talking about how John shouldn't represent Kim for one, because her sister is one of his former clients, and that causes a conflict of interest. So John representing Kim would not be a good idea. He will be breaking Rule 1.9. Okay, the next rule that John also broke was Rule 1.18. And Rule 1.18b states that even when no client-lawyer relationship ensues, a lawyer who has learned information from a prospective client should not use or reveal that information, except in Rule 1.9, which will permit the respect to information as a former client. Kim never gave John the permission to tell his sister any information about her case, and Jennifer never gave John the written permission to tell Kim anything about her case. So he broke that rule twice by talking to Kim about Jennifer's case and Jennifer about Kim's case. Okay, and the last rule that John broke was Rule 1.2. And Rule 1.2 is the scope of representation and allegation of authority between client and lawyer. And the part of this rule that John broke is a lawyer should not counsel a client to engage or assist the client in conduct that the lawyer knows is criminal or fraudulent, but the lawyer may discuss the legal consequences of any proposed course of conduct with the client and make the counsel or assist the client to make a good faith effort to determine the valid scope, meaning, or application of law. And he broke this rule because he gave Kim the okay to kill her husband. She asked him if she kills her husband before they get a divorce, will he be able to represent her and get her off? And he told her yes. So John was then engaging into criminal activity because murdering someone is a crime. So he will be engaging into criminal activity. And those are the three rules that I use for my narrative scenario. Rule 1.9, which is the duties to former clients. Rule 1.18, which is to duties to prospective clients. And Rule 1.2, the scope of representation of allocation of authority between client and lawyer. And that is my narrative.